Bring in NBC News medical analyst Dr. Vin Gupta. Doctor, good morning. So first, if we could just kind of zoom out. I mean, vaccine, there's been so much conversation, right, about them, especially since COVID. But if we just think about, like, even the Hippocratic Oath, this code of ethics, standards, doctors swear to uphold, chief among them is first, do no harm. Given what we know about the safety and effectiveness of vaccines, especially ones that kids have been getting just to go to school for decades, does this violate that in any way, would you say?
Good morning, Savannah. Yes, it does. Personally, I think this is scandalous so far as it pertains to public health, and it's sycophantic. I mean, this is not out of the norm for Ladapo, the Florida Surgeon General, to do things that have no grounding in evidence or in the principles of public health, but to further some other political aim. And just to say it to your listeners, Savannah and Joe, non-medical exemptions for vaccines exist in Florida. They exist in most places across the country. They've been increasing in Florida. So this is performative. This is not substantive.
Let's talk about Florida. It's a huge state. The latest census says, 21 million people live there, not to mention a massive tourist destination. So what might happen in Florida if people stop getting vaccinated against things that are highly contagious, potentially debilitating, like measles, polio? Is it possible we could see an impact in other states outside of Florida?
Absolutely. My hope here is in states that have at least 94% coverage, Joe, for childhood vaccines. That's the level that we feel we need to root out an outbreak. So-called herd immunity we talked so much about during COVID applies to measles, applies to polio. In places like Florida, though, they're flirting with a dangerous threshold there, where polio exemption rates are high enough in those places that herd immunity level is not getting reached, or we're right at the precipice. It's about 92, 94% there. And so what does that mean? That means that in elementary schools across Florida, perhaps other parts of the country, I think they're the canary in the coal mine, they're going to see outbreaks of vaccine-preventable illnesses for children, polio, measles, of course, others potentially. And why does that matter? That doesn't just matter for unvaccinated kids, Joe. That matters for partially vaccinated kids, too. Those that are younger, still in their vaccine series, they could still be exposed. And so this impacts everybody, not just those that are unvaccinated.
What about the CDC, Doctor? How does that sort of what's going on there, this lack of steady leadership, the changes that we're seeing, ultimately impact public health guidance across the country and make it something people feel at home?
I mean, Savannah, we're seeing it play out here on the West Coast. Our three states here on the West Coast are banding together to counter the federal CDC lack of leadership. And they're probably going to embrace medical society guidelines, which are good, such as the American Academy of Pediatrics. But this is not the way things should be, Savannah and Joe. I mean, this is creating confusion. I'm getting a ton of questions. Doc, do I need a prescription? Doc, is my insurance going to cover my booster shot? This is not good for anybody. And I should say to the two of you, 80% of Americans, based on polling data, strong polling data, bipartisan support, 80% for vaccine requirements for children in schools. This is not controversial.
So as we head into the fall season, just what's the most important thing you want people to know about vaccines?
Nothing here is new, Joe. No other country in the world is having these types of conversations for a reason, because nothing has changed about the science. These are safe, these are effective. Resources are important. Healthychildren.org, produced by the American Academy of Pediatrics. It's a nonprofit. Great navigable information, Joe. Encourage everybody to go there, and immunize.org for adults if you have questions about adult vaccines.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch live on our YouTube channel.